Bitcoin will replace notes and coins?
That's a really good question. No, the truth is nobody really knows. The existing system of money we use throughout the world and have done for a long time now, for many years, of notes and coins, it's actually known as the fiat money system. And the problem is there's lots of disadvantages of this system. It is an advantage to countries like the US, which has got the world's central currency, the most popular currency, the most used currency, called the US dollar. So the US particularly benefits from the fiat money system, but it's also got a lot of problems with it. It means that governments around the world control their own notes and coins, their own fiat money. They tend to print lots of it, which brings down the value of it. They borrow too much money. It's just not a good store of value for most countries in the world, because countries that are less economically developed, they struggle with their own currencies. They struggle to maintain the value. The value would tend to decrease quite a lot. And so that causes a lot of poverty throughout the west of the world, particularly in the underdeveloped countries. Could Bitcoin replace notes and coins? Yes, they could. And believe it or not, that's the most probable outcome, because we're moving into this digital world now, aren't we? Bitcoin offers an alternative vision of financial systems focused on decentralization, in other words, not controlled by governments or big organizations, faster transactions peer-to-peer, and easier access, especially for those without traditional banking. And this is already happening in the third world. Meanwhile, fiat currencies could remain as a state-controlled form of money. The point is that all fiat currency gets devalued over time. Even the US dollar, the strongest currency in the world, it's lost 99% of its value in real terms over the last 100 years or so. 99% of its value. Some lesser developed countries are already adopting Bitcoin as their currency, such as Ecuador, because owning Ecuadorian currency has been a disaster. People have lost so much wealth by devaluing against the dollar. But also there are countries in the world that have literally confiscated people's cash and devalued it significantly. So a country like Ecuador has decided, well, Bitcoin's a safer store of wealth than their own currency. So they've decided to adopt Bitcoin as their currency. These countries experience severe depletion of value of the currencies against the US dollar in particular. And a great example I can think of in the past was Zimbabwe. Now, Zimbabwe was very badly run for decades, particularly from the 1980s till early part of this century. The inflation was so rife and the value had dropped so much that they took to printing notes of up to 100 trillion Zimbabwe dollars. Believe you me, 100 trillion Zimbabwe dollars sounds like a lot of money. You'd probably buy a loaf of bread. This was inflation on a massive scale. And this is one of the problems with the fiat money system, particularly for these underdeveloped countries in the world. But even for developed countries, it's a problem. There are very few very strong currencies in the world. The ones I can think of off the top of my head, the strongest ones are probably the US dollar, the euro, even sterling, the pound is quite good. The Japanese yen, what else? The Swiss franc. There aren't many really strong currencies. So when you're relying on this notes and coin system, the fiat money system, it is a problem for most countries in the world, apart from the very few strong ones. So for that reason, I do think that there's a very good chance that Bitcoin could become the major currency of the world and actually take over from the fiat money system, the existing system of notes and coins controlled by the US. So there you have it.